Hey guys, I'm Mercury and today I will share my experience with you after traveling across Thailand for 2 months. For those of you new to the channel, I left London in April of 2026 and I started traveling across mainly Southeast Asia. For those of you interested, there's a whole video about that. You can find it on the channel page and in the video description. It pretty much started as a fun little side project, like a digital journal which I can come back to anytime I want. But over time, a lot of people showed interest in it, so I decided to make something different, something which could hopefully help you plan your next trip to Thailand. You see, I said that I've spent 2 months traveling across Thailand, but that's a little bit misleading. In fact, I'm regularly coming here since 2023, at least once a year. So I've got to see things changing, learning about places. In fact, this year alone, I've spent 2 months just all around the country. But enough introduction, let's get to the video. And the first point is, I want to come to Thailand. What do I have to do? Well, first thing you need to know, regardless of whether you need a visa or not, all the foreigners coming to Thailand need to complete the Thailand digital arrival card. You can do this online. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description. It's completely free. It takes a meager 5-10 minutes to do it. And don't worry, it's completely free. The details you're gonna need, beside the personal details on the passport, you will need proof of address, basically where you're gonna stay, whether hotel or Airbnb, as well as proof for the flight ticket coming in and going out of the country. You can submit this form 3 days before you're arriving into the country, including the arrival date. Now, Thailand seems to be making changes to the visa requirements and the length of stay quite regularly, so it's very important you check beforehand for how long you can actually stay into the country. An easy way to do so would be Passport Index. I'm gonna put the link down in the description. You go over there, you choose your passport, it's gonna show you a map of the entire world, and on the right side you're gonna have the visa requirements and the length of stay allowed. But of course, this website is good for an overview, but for your safety, it's good to double check the information. Now that you know what you need to get into the country, you might be wondering, who's Thailand actually for? And the quick and easy answer is everyone. Now, look, when most of the people hear Thailand, they immediately think about ladyboys, nightlife, partying, and generally the country's more adult life, which, look, I'm not gonna try to say that is not true. It absolutely is. Those things happen, but they are just a fraction of what the country actually has to offer. This is a place where you can have a completely different experience depending on what you are looking for. From the nightlife and skyscrapers of Bangkok to the mountains and beautiful temples and lush forests of the northern Thailand, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, the beautiful beaches and hundreds of islands. There's everything for everyone. So if you want to come to party, perfect, there's a place for you. You want to come with a family, have a relaxing time, enjoy at the beach, learn about history, there's a place for you as well. And this is probably the biggest thing I've learned coming here regularly for the past couple of years. Don't let anyone else dictate how you should spend your time over here or how your experience should be. Just come, see it yourself, enjoy it the way you want. You can absolutely do that. The next point is, and is very important, is Thailand cheap? And look, the answer is a little bit more complex. If you've been to Thailand before, especially before 2023, you will definitely see that prices went up by quite a bit. It's not as cheap as it used to be. But there's still good news. You can still have a memorable, amazing experience on a budget. Let's start with the accommodation. When I first decided to travel, Thailand seemed like a pretty solid choice. Again, I was on a budget, I was looking for something cheap, and with the dozens, if not hundreds of videos online with people showcasing their wonderful condos for like $200-300 a month, it seemed like a solid choice, right? But then getting closer to the date, I was starting to look for accommodation and those places were nowhere to be found. And then I realized what most people don't mention is the fact that you get those prices on long-term rentals with a minimum requirement of 1 year. So don't imagine that you're just gonna come over here and this is the price and this is the apartment you're gonna get. It's not how it works. Also, a couple of years ago, I found Airbnb to be super convenient, cheap prices, wonderful places to stay. But about 2 years ago, I think, I started noticing that the prices on Airbnb just skyrocket. They are so high nowadays to the point where you can actually find better deals in hotels. And also the daily cleaning, it's a pretty nice addition. It really comes down to what you need. If you're coming with the family, with kids, Airbnb might be a better choice because you have more bedrooms, you have a kitchen, it gives that home vibe. But if you're traveling solo or just with your partner or your friend, might be worth looking into the hotels. Also very important, do not be afraid to look into 3 stars hotels or even hostels over here. They work completely different from at least what I was used to in Europe. For example, I stayed in 3 stars hotels, right? And the space, the size of the room, the general amenities of the hotel were much better than you would find in a 4 stars hotel in say in London. So those are options. Don't be afraid. Don't overlook them. Then we can talk about transportation. And here's where Thailand gives you quite a few options. The first and probably the cheapest is going to be bus. Now, during my entire time over here in Thailand, I never used the buses in the city. I didn't really have to. I use them for long distances, like traveling from Bangkok to Chiang Mai and things like that, and they were super cool, super affordable. But in the actual cities, I never use it. I can't really comment on how efficient they are, how good the connections are, but they are an option to keep in mind. Then you have the BTS SkyTrain and other urban rail systems, which again, super affordable, really easy to figure them out. You can buy tickets at the station, at the machine. They have English as well, AC inside. Now, the thing with them is they're super nice, especially in Bangkok, but the connections are not always the best. Like, it might take you a while getting from point A to point B. As a tourist though, considering the places you're gonna go, maybe it's not gonna be much of a problem for you. It's definitely worth giving a try, looking into it before booking a car. It might be better. You also have boat rides, which are a little bit harder to notice, but they do exist and they are almost free. Then you have the private transport. Now, it's important to remember, Uber doesn't work in Thailand, but you have apps like Bolt and Grab, which are similar things. Now, there's a couple of things you can book with them. You can book normal cars, like you would do on Uber, which are great if you are traveling as a group or with luggage, although it can be a nightmare during the rush hours. And you can also call motorbikes, which are super fun. They are one of my favorite over here in Thailand. It can be a little bit scary at the beginning, but after a couple of rides, you're gonna get used to it. And they are incredible at exploring the city, especially at night. Highly recommend. Now, one thing to keep in mind, and don't be surprised, the drivers do wear helmets. That's a requirement, but not all of them will have a helmet for you. That's pretty normal. If you don't feel comfortable, that's absolutely fine. Cancel the ride, find another one, or text the driver before, ask him if he has a helmet. If not, just cancel it then and book another one. Then you have the classic Thailand tuk-tuks, which unfortunately I completely removed from my list for a couple of reasons. They are nice. Do it at least once for the experience. They are cool, but the pricing on those things is just ridiculous. And especially in the last few years, let me give you an example. Late at night, I'm done exploring or I'm done having fun. I just want to go home. I don't want to wait for a car 5 minutes. I just see a tuk-tuk. So I go to the driver and I'm like, hey, can you take me here? On the app, let's say the price hits 150 baht. The tuk-tuk driver is like, okay, 500 baht. Look, let's meet somewhere in the middle, okay? Let's do 300. He's like, no. There's 20 tuk-tuk drivers. Nobody would take the 300 baht. And this happened multiple times to the point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna bother anymore. So they are iconic, they are fun, but not really worth. You just have much better options. Next, on to food prices. And look, when I said that Thailand has everything for everyone, I really mean it. You can have dinners for 1 to 200 pounds, and you can have an amazing meal for 1 or 2 pounds. The thing with them is, nowadays, you have to explore a little bit to find a good place, not only in quality, but in price as well. And especially do not be afraid to try the small family run restaurants. They're absolutely amazing. The food is amazing. The prices are amazing. Maybe sometimes I actually came across some of them which would serve food, but they would not serve any kind of drinks. But they allow you to just go to the nearest supermarket, buy drinks, and have it at the table. So not really an issue. And those are few exceptions. Then there is the street food. And again, I highly encourage you to give it a try. Obviously, be smart about it. Don't just eat anywhere. People over here, the locals, have a bit of a stronger stomach than you and me. In night markets, it's pretty safe. It's clean. Have a look around. Use common sense. You'll be fine. During all my trips over here in Thailand, I never had food poisoning or anything like that. Again, just use your brain. If you see that the place it's clean, fine. If it's on the middle of the road with cars passing by, dust and things like that, maybe you as a foreigner might want to skip that. Also, if you are worried about the food options because you are a picky eater or because you have some requirements, absolutely no problem. Everything for everyone. In fact, some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my life was in Bangkok. So it's not like there's only Thai food. There's international cuisine, there's Asian cuisine, everything. On to the next point, how much money do I actually need? And the answer is more than you think. Hear me out. Although a fairly cheap country, money can still fly, especially if you are coming here for parties. Also, preferably bring cash, because in Thailand cash is king. And don't get me wrong, you can absolutely pay by card in a lot of places, but the thing with that is they will charge you between 3 to 5% extra on card payments. Also, when you withdraw money from the ATM, no matter the amount, you're gonna pay an extra fee. So if you find yourself in a situation where you ran out of cash, just withdraw more than you actually need at the moment. Trust me, it's gonna come in handy, because those things add up quite a lot, more than you realize at the moment. Still related to money, You don't necessarily have to come with Thai bahts directly into the country. You can bring your foreign currency, but do not exchange money at the airport. The rates are pretty horrible. Typically, the way I do it, I just get like 1,000 or 1,500 bahts at the airport just to have for like taxi, food, or whatever. And then I change the rest in the city where the rates are much, much, much better. Same applies for the SIM card. In the airport, you pay for the convenience, but you can get a super cheap SIM card anywhere in the city at either the malls or the local 7-Eleven. So if you're on a budget, just keep this in mind. For a more clear answer, I would say if you're traveling on a budget, maybe 20 to 30 pounds a day should be enough. If you want something comfortable, between 40 to 17, and on the higher end, 100 plus pounds a day. Obviously, this doesn't include the international flight, and it varies a lot depending on the accommodation and location. Next is where should you go? Bangkok versus islands versus northern parts of the country. And starting with Bangkok, which is probably my favorite, just because of the diversity. You have the nightlife and adult life. You have history with the Grand Palace, temples, museums. If you want to take it easy and relax, you can just explore the city. You can take a walk through Lumpini Park, hundreds of rooftop bars. There's everything for you. So if you're coming for the first time, Bangkok probably the safest choice. Now, personally, I would avoid Pattaya. I find it to be extremely overpriced and overrated for the quality of life. You're just gonna spend unhealthy amounts of money for diminishing returns. Yes, wonderful places like the Sanctuary of Truth exist, and I highly advise you to go visit it. But spending anything than 2 days over here, I don't know. I don't really see the reason. Also, very important to notice that most of the clubs over here cater to a certain type of tourists. So if you go on the Pattaya walking street, for example, most of the clubs they cater to Indian tourists, so they're gonna play their type of music. Again, not all of them, but a vast majority of them. Then you're gonna have clubs which only allow Chinese people or Korean peoples. So really, when you compare it with Bangkok, you can't. Bangkok is like much better. But again, this is just my opinion. Maybe you're gonna like it. Give it a try if you wish. Then we have Phuket, solid choice. Beautiful beaches, plenty of activities, viewpoints, nightlife, restaurants, and it's important that you don't think of Phuket as just one destination. You can use it as your base and go explore other islands nearby. You don't have to stay only in Phuket. You can go island hopping from here, which is pretty cool if you are into these kind of things. Over here you can really take it easy, enjoy a cocktail at the beach, sunbathing. Then if you want fun at night, you have Patong and Bangla Road, solid. So overall, Phuket is a pretty nice mix of everything. And finally, we have the northern parts of the country, aka Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and all those. If Bangkok is about the city and nightlife and things like that, skyscrapers, and Phuket is about beaches and activities by the sea, Chiang Mai and northern Thailand is where I would go for nature and history. You've got hundreds of temples, waterfalls, national parks, food, everything. Perfect place to relax. Also, overall, the best prices are here in Chiang Mai, in my experience. But there's a catch. Most likely and ideally, to get around, you will have to rent either a car or a motorbike if you want to explore beyond Chiang Mai itself. It's gonna make your life considerably easier. So if you are someone who enjoys hiking, nature, exploring, history, and just getting away from the crowd, Northern Thailand might be the place for you. Now into one of the more important aspects, is Thailand actually safe? And look, in my experience, yes, there's a couple of aspects which we're gonna discuss later in the video, but overall, yes, it's a safe country. Thai people are some of the most welcoming and friendly people you're gonna find in the world. Now, it's very important you remember you are in their country. You might see things which for you might look weird or you do not agree with. But again, this is how they live, this is how they do things. Respect that. Over the years, I heard stories about foreigners being lured into the country with fake job offers and things like that, and then being trafficked across the border to Myanmar. But most likely for you, this is not going to be the case, especially when just walking the streets of Bangkok or Phuket. But still something to keep in mind. Also, due to the recent events with Cambodia, maybe try to avoid that part close to the border just for safety reasons. But other than that, Thailand, super safe. In fact, there's something you should be more careful about. It's other tourists because high amounts of alcohol do tend to make people behave in certain ways. Now, look, I came to Thailand every year for the past 4 years, right? And I came here alone. I came here with groups of friends. I've been walking by myself 3, 4 a.m. on dark alleys. Never had an issue. I went partying by myself. Had one too many drinks. Nothing ever happened. They took care of me. They put me in the taxi, sent me home. Obviously, there's rotten trees in every forest, but generally, not much to worry about. It doesn't mean shut off your brain completely, but generally, safe place. And on to everyone's favorite when visiting a new country, the scams. Although I spent quite some time telling you how safe Thailand actually is, obviously there's a couple of things to be mindful of, and the first one is obviously the classic overpaying, whether we talk about tuk-tuks, taxis, markets, tours, everything in this category. Although harmless, and the good part is you can actually negotiate the prices for those and still reach a point where you as well as the seller are happy. So this one is okay. Next one is the attraction is closed. Here's an idea for what you can do for a couple of hours or until tomorrow. And I remember my first trip in Thailand. I wanted to visit the Grand Palace, and as I was walking towards the entrance, this old gentleman, Thai gentleman, just stops me and he's like, I'm sorry, but the palace is closed for, I can't remember what reason he gave me. He's like, you can come back in a couple of hours, but meanwhile, if you want, there were some drivers nearby. He's like, you can take one of those drivers, explore the city a little bit and come back. Again, harmless, if anything, just annoying, especially if you are on a schedule. It was pretty obvious that the temple was very much open. There were lots of people coming in and out. Typically, they have some deals with the drivers nearby. They get a share, and that's about it. Again, harmless, just annoying. Generally, I have a rule, not only for Thailand, but in general to every country I visit. If a person you don't know approaches you, speaks English way too well for the country, and is giving you unsolicited advices, go away. Don't spend too much time around it, or if you really want to do what they say, just double check the information, just to be on the safer side. Most likely nothing harmful is going to happen to you, it's just that you're going to overpay for some tours, and that's about it. Then this one is related to the nightlife, because typically this is where most of the scams happen, and they can escalate at times. If you want to visit a go-go bar, have some fun, have some drinks, whatever, it's on you, do it. But always check the bill and the prices. And remember that whatever the girls say, nothing is free. I learned that the hard way. I've noticed, especially in Bangkok, in Soy Cowboy, and in Pattaya on Soy 6, the bills tend to get inflated like ridiculous amounts. If you just add an extra beer or something to the bill, I'm gonna notice it, but I'm gonna be like, whatever, 100 bahts or something, 130 bahts, I don't care. But they really go into it. When things like this happen, there's few ways to deal with it. And the first one, and typically the easiest one, is bring it to the attention of the manager, of Mama-san. Most of the time, she's just gonna ask you, what's the problem, blah, 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 blah. You're gonna explain it, and she's gonna take it off the bill. If not, pay the bill and leave immediately. Do not become confrontational. Don't put your hands on anyone. Don't threaten anyone. Especially if you are in a closed space where people from outside can't see you. Now, luckily, I've never been involved in a fight over here in the bars with the staff, but there's quite a few stories of people who've been handed bills of like thousands of pounds, and they ended up in the hospital because they refused to pay. As I say, just pay the bill, get out, call the police, call your bank, explain the situation. Listen, your safety comes first. You can deal with the money later. The important stuff is that you get out unharmed. And let's face it, in a country where the national sports it's breaking bones, really you don't want big fights with the people. And I said that I never had a situation that became corporal, but I had few stories. And one of them is in Soy 6 in Pattaya from this year, actually. When me and my friend were recording in the area, we decided to stop at the bar, just have a drink, see how things changed since last time I've been here. And two girls approached us. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Can you buy me a drink? We were like, no, let us see if we like the place, if we're going to stay here, and then we're going to decide later. We ordered our drinks. Drinks are coming together with two drinks for them. And I look at the bill and I'm like, hey, that's not nice. Spoke with the mama-san. I explained her the situation. She apologized. She was very nice. She scolded the girls. She took the drinks off the bill. Never seen the girls again. Just don't be afraid to do that. As I said, most of the time it's going to be solved pretty easily. Another one was surprisingly in Chiang Mai. Again, with my friend, we found a bar. We had some drinks. Super fun. We played pool with the girls and some other games. And at some point there was this girl. She came. I was playing. I don't know. It's called tic tac toe or something. I can't remember the name of the game. And she's like, "Oh, let's do something. If you win, I buy you a drink. If I win, you buy me a drink." And I'm like, "Cool." First one, she won. I bought her a drink, no problem. Then the next three in a row, I won. And she's like, "Look, I promised I'm gonna buy you some drinks. The next three drinks are on me." Then bill is coming, all fine. I pay the bill in cash to the waitress. She goes 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. She's not coming back with the change. It was like she had to give me back about 600 bahts or something. And I'm like, okay. Then the manager is coming with another bill, double the amount I already paid. And she's like, "Oh, you have to pay this." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" Not only did I already pay, but there's a couple of drinks on these which are not mine. After to explain her the situation quite a few times, she was like, no, you have to pay, you have to pay, you have to pay. Luckily, it was an open bar, so people outside started stopping, watching the events unfold. And I was like, look, you have cameras everywhere. You see exactly what I had. You see exactly how much I paid. If you want me to pay more, I say no. I'm calling the police. You guys can deal with it. The moment the phone came out, the bill disappeared. Everybody was happy. Everybody minded its own business. So just something to keep in mind. Things like this can and most likely will happen. Also related to nightlife, especially for the gentlemen's. The ladies in the bars can be very, very persuasive. It's important that you remember that they are here to socialize, have some fun, but ultimately make money. Which, look, nothing wrong with that, but also for you, do not be afraid to say no. You just want to have a beer by yourself or with your friends or whatever. Girls are coming, buy me a drink. Say no. Mama son is coming, hi, can you buy me a drink, blah blah. Say no. Absolutely no pressure. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You are in a bar. If you just want to have a drink, you have a drink. If you want to have company, you have company, and you pay for that as well. It's up to you. Do not, what I'm trying to say is, do not feel pressure to spend more than you are actually willing to. If they really, really become annoying, leave. Simple as that. There's so many other bars you can try. Just walk away. Again, from my own experience, I'm in a bar. I find a girl, we're having a conversation which I really enjoy, or we're playing pool. I'm buying her a drink because, again, I like her company. And then 10 more girls are coming, buy me a drink as well. Or she's like, oh, I have a friend, can you buy her a drink as well? No. That's it. That's it. Simple. Or mama son is coming and like, do you like the company of the lady, blah, 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 can you buy me a drink? No. Nothing to be ashamed of. I have nothing to prove to anyone. If I want to buy it, I buy it. If not, not. Now, another one worth mentioning. If you plan on renting a vehicle, whether a car or a motorbike, it's very important, before taking it at the dealership, take your time, inspect the car, and take a video. It didn't happen to me. It happened to my friend last year. He rented the car to go to Chiang Mai. He rented it for like 10 days. Everything was perfect. He gave the car back. Couple of days later, WhatsApp message from the owner. Oh, you did this damage, this damage, this damage, you need to pay. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was pretty high. And he's like, what are you talking about? That was already there. We saw it together when we inspected the car. No, you have to pay all those kind of things. Like, look, I know I haven't done it. You know I haven't done it. If you have a problem with it, let me know. I will inform my lawyer. We can take it from there. Next message is like, don't worry, everything is fine. We sort it out. I'm not saying to threaten them with lawyers or anything. I'm just saying be prepared. Things like this can happen. Don't give in to the pressure. Stay strong if you know that you haven't done. If it's your fault, look, man, pay it. If not, have the proof ready. If it's coming, show it. Done. Another one, cheap tailor or gems jewelry store. Classic around here. Some unknown person is coming to you and keeps telling you about this special deal today at this shop. If you didn't ask for it, the end. Again, harmless. It's just that you're gonna overpay for something of maybe low quality, maybe fake, easy to avoid. Just walk away. Or if you really want to give it a try, just double check the place beforehand. My experience again, I was at Watarun, I think. I just finished visiting and I was outside. I was about to book a car, and there was a gentleman smoking over there, and we started talking. Nice conversation. Out of nowhere, he's like, are you going shopping today? I'm like, not really. oh, because it's a special day over here in Thailand, it's whatever celebration, so the prices are down. There are some nice tailor shops nearby if you wanna give it a try. And I actually did. I went over there. The prices, they're ridiculous. I'm not. The materials were good and all that, but the prices were almost as expensive as in London. I'm like, what's the point? I might as well just buy them from there, and I don't have to pay for the luggage and stuff. Another one is temples and monk donations. So Thailand is a Buddhist country. Monks are highly respected. At the temples, you're gonna see boxes with donations. If you wanna donate something, that's very nice of you. If not, that's it. But if people on the street approach you and ask you for donations, personally, most of the time I say no. I prefer to do it myself at the actual temple, because a lot of those people tend to be scammers pretending to be monks. Just keep that in mind. And another classic, especially in the night, you are in a bar, you meet some people, maybe you meet a girl, you spend time together, and someone is like, oh, I know a better place. Nothing harmful is gonna happen. They're just gonna take you to a place which is overpriced, and that's about it. Typically stick to what you know and what you want. If you really want to follow their advice, double check before the reviews, the place, if it looks okay, and things like that, and go. Otherwise, just follow your instinct, go where you want. And this brings us to the next point. Where should you shop in Thailand? You came all the way here, you need to live with some souvenirs, right? But what's the best quality price place you can find? Well, in my experience, the night markets in Chiang Mai are by far some of the best. Affordable, good quality, good diversity. The only downside, quite far. It's not worth just going there for shopping. If you plan on going and spending some time over there exploring, whether Chiang Mai itself or around, fine. But going just for the markets, maybe not. Another pretty solid one would be in Bangkok, Chatuchak Market. Although with this one, I would say take your time. It's pretty big. Take your time, explore. You can find very good quality. You can find low quality, and do not be afraid to negotiate the prices. I would not waste my time with MBK, which is also in Bangkok. It's an interesting place. It has a lot of diversity. I spent quite a few hours this year as well over there, but the quality of the items varies drastically, and the prices are just insane for Thailand. I remember I saw some pretty nice t-shirts, and when I was inquiring about the prices, the person would just not go below 1,000 or 1,200 baht, and the quality wasn't even like 100% cotton. You can feel it, even I can feel it, and I'm pretty bad at it. Go if you want to have a look, but for actual shopping, I would avoid this one. Just my opinion. Next point is how long shall you stay in Thailand, and obviously it really depends on what you want to do and what's the budget. But generally, I would say a minimum of 10 days, ideally at least 2 weeks. And the reasoning is simple. As I said, Thailand, it's a completely different experience every time you are coming. It's good to take your time, take it easy, just enjoy to the fullest. Also, it's important to expect the unexpected. I mentioned earlier, eating out, maybe the worst thing happen, you get food poisoning, that's already maybe 3 days gone. The weather can play a pretty important role. Sometimes I wanted to go out, but it was so incredibly hot. I decided to just stay in the hotel and just go out at night. So obviously that cuts from my time, right? So I have to compensate somehow, or maybe it's raining, or I don't know. Again, it depends what you want to do, because if you want to do Bangkok, Phuket, Chiang Mai, Krabi, Ayutthaya, you can, but in 10 days you can, but you need to realize that you're going to spend most of your time checking in and out in the hotels, waiting in bus stations or airport terminals. Is that how you want to spend your holiday? Maybe it is, maybe it works for you, but I say it's better to take it easy and enjoy Thailand at its fullest. And finally, for the end of the video, after spending 2 months in the country this year and coming here at least once a year for the past 4 years, would I actually recommend visiting the country? The answer is no, especially if it's your first time. Hear me out. You will end up enjoying it so much. All your holidays from now on will be spent here. You won't go anywhere else. That's what happened to me. I came in 2023. I was like, okay, I'm coming once, gonna see around. Then I'm gonna go to, I don't know, Japan or Vietnam. That didn't happen. I kept coming again and again and again and again. Because the more you see, the more you realize there's something else you can do, you can explore. It's such a beautiful and diverse country. You just can never have enough of it. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Walking the streets of Bangkok, in some areas you're gonna see bugs, you're gonna see rats, maybe you're gonna see some other things you don't agree with, but that's probably the beauty of it, in my opinion. Communication also might be an issue. Even in the big cities, yes, they do speak English to a certain degree, but as you go further away, you might struggle with that. Not a not a big thing, but something to keep in mind. That will not stop them from assisting you, looking after you. Generally, if there's one thing that I learned from traveling, is that it's always better to come and see for yourself. Don't let others dictate how you should feel about the country or how you should spend your holiday. Come, see for yourself, and do things at your own pace, the way you like it. After everything I told you in this video, there is one last thing I would like to mention, and that's the fact that everything here is based on my experience. Yours can be completely different, or was completely different. Take everything I said with a grain of salt. This is just a starting point. Do your research and make your own experiences. If you've already been to Thailand, I'm genuinely curious to know how was your experience. What's something you wish you knew in advance, or if there's something I haven't mentioned in this video, please do let me know in the comments. Let's help others who want to come here, as well as if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy and I will try my best to answer them. That being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video and in Thailand maybe. Bye bye.